25 years of Rockies baseball.
25 years of hits, home runs,
walk-offs. My favorite. 25 years of moments we'll always remember.
making memories we'll never forget.
But it's not about what you've done.
It's all about what you're doing.
Diving catch! Unbelievable. What a play. The lead catch by Blackman.
And this team,
These Rockies,
Cargo lays out and makes the catch.
we're hungry.
Oh, that's some great pitching.
we've tasted Rocktober,
October is upon us once again.
And we want more.
From his knees, throws to first and got him. Oh, what a play.
here and now.
He is unbelievable. Get that baseball. New record.
Right now is where we shine.
Struck out the side. How impressive was that?
What a gorgeous performance.
So let's go, Colorado.
No excuses.
The time is now. Let's make it happen.
Tonight,
Let's go.
High fly ball, deep left field. Way back. Walk-off cycle. Nolan does it again. Look at the reaction from Nolan. Strike three, inning over.
What a performance from Kyle today.
Oh, what a play. Cut it out. As good as it gets. This Rockies season opener is brought to you by Humana. The boys of summer are back in town battling frigid winter-like temperatures, but we're not worried about that anymore. After an hour delay, we will have the home openers, the Rockies and the Atlanta Braves. The Rockies have never hosted Atlanta in Game 1 at home. And German Marquez has never faced the Braves, but he is about to, as he takes to the Coors Field mound in front of another sellout crowd. Game time temperature is 29 degrees, but guess what, folks? Think back to April 23rd, 2013 when Atlanta was in town, and the temperature was 23 degrees. So it's much, much nicer this afternoon.
Must be something about the Braves.
Must be something about the Braves. Well, German Marquez really helped the Rockies get going. They had lost their first two ball games down in Arizona, Huey, and they had struggled, to be frank, with starting pitching the first two ball games. John Gray, Tyler Anderson did not have their best stuff. German went out and he threw up 0 after 0. He gave up one unearned run in 5 innings, and that helped propel the Rockies to a victory in that finale down in Arizona.
Well, and that's what they did. They needed that victory on Saturday in Arizona, and it was a solid start for German. As you mentioned, Drew, 5 innings. He had a good fastball that night, good curveball, mixing a few sliders and change. And I think for German, it's just something to build on after that start as he comes back home. He's a guy that you rely on, and last year so many times after a loss that German would be the guy to kind of stop a losing streak. And so for him to go out and get an opening day nod, it's got to be, or excuse me, a home opener nod. It's got to be pretty special.
Yeah, really special. All bundled up is Ender Enciarte. And Chris, I think, getting a kick out of the fact that he's got a ski mask on right now. Here's the Southwest batting order for Brian Snitker's Braves. Ozzie Albies, good-looking young player. He's just 21. He'll bat second. Freddie Freeman is most accomplished hitter in their lineup and one of the best in the game. Then Nick Markakis, Kurt Suzuki's got some pop. Preston Tucker's off to a great start, career journeyman minor leaguer. And then it's Dansby Swanson, Ryan Flaherty, and Brandon McCarthy. First pitch of the ball game is inside ball one. Nick Lenz is behind home plate calling balls and strikes. The crew chief Bill Welke's at second, or excuse me, at first. Tony Randazzo at second. Lance Barrett at third, and that pitch misses also, so it's 2-0. You always deal with grip issues at altitude, and it's got to be even slicker today, as cold as it is.
It definitely is. You talk to pitchers, and they're always trying to get the right grip on the baseball, and I think we'll see it not only with the fastball, but the off-speed pitches too.
That's a great start. Running over to first base. German Marquez, 1 out. Let's take a look at the Rockies defensively. They have in my opinion and many others, the best infield defense in the sport. Arenado, Story, LeMahieu, Desmond. In the outfield, it's Gerardo Parra in left, Charlie's in center, Cargo is in right, and Chris Iannetta in his second tour of duty with the club is behind the plate. Here's Ozzie Albies, and he fouls off the first delivery. It's 0-1. We saw Albies when he came up last year as a 20-year-old, and he was very impressive on both sides of the ball. And despite being diminutive in size, he's got a lot of pop. The minute I say that, he just hit it out of the ballpark. I didn't mean to do that. 1-0 Atlanta. Albies with his second home run.
4th RBI. He hit 6 home runs last year in short amount of time for Atlanta. And you're right, Drew. There was no doubt about that one when it left the bat. It looked like he just jumped on this fastball on the Subaru Supermo. He did. He cleared the hips, got that front side out of there. And I think most hitters today, they're going to be very conscious of the ball inside. So they don't want to get their hands hurt.
Probably going to cheat a little bit.
They will cheat a little bit. So that, I think that sets you up then for some more off-speed pitches. It also sets the hitters up if you pitch them away.
Freddie Freeman takes a breaking ball that misses. 1 ball, 1 strike on Freeman. The Braves are 4-2 coming in. They were off yesterday, and that pitch misses. They've played Philadelphia and Washington, 2 other teams obviously in the AL East, and won both of those series. And the storyline's been their offense.
Sluggers.
They lead baseball in runs scored with 49 after the home run a moment ago by Albies.
Yeah, plus 21 coming into the game in run differential for them. Slugging .481. I mean, they're doing a lot of things offensively that they haven't done in the past.
3-1, and it's 3-2. The biggest key has not been that they've necessarily hit the ball over the wall with great regularity in the first week of the season. They're hitting .450 with runners in scoring position. And Freddie Freeman draws his 11th walk of the year. That'll bring up Nick Markakis. And you see that Chris Iannetta and Herman did not want to give in and throw a fastball there. They went to a curveball 3-2.
Well, they went to a curveball 3-1.
Markakis, not your prototype to be hitting cleanup. Guy doesn't hit a lot of home runs. Last year in almost 700 plate appearances, he hit only 8 home runs.
But he will drive in some runs, and I think he tries to protect Freddie as much as he can, even though Freddie missed some time last year with the broken wrist. I think it's more of a veteran hitter behind him.
Juan's going to take a little walk and perhaps dealing with some jitters starting the home opener. You can understand that. He's falling behind 2-0. And 3-0. That misses. Back-to-back walks, and that'll bring up Kurt Suzuki. Crowd getting a little restless, and Chris Iannetta is going to go out for a visit.
Back to Albies' home run. And this StatCast is brought to you by Subaru. It had an exit velocity of 98.8. You see the launch angle, and also traveled 403 feet.
Kurt Suzuki had kind of a renaissance last year, hitting home runs. He did 19 home runs last year and under 300 at bats.
Over 1,200 games behind the plate in the major leagues.
34-year-old catcher. good looking breaking ball for a strike. It's 0-2. Suzuki fouls that pitch off. Braves have won a couple in a row, again scoring a lot of runs. They beat the Nationals 13-6 and 7-1. This is their first road game of the year, and look who's back in town. Walt Weiss. He's the right-hand man to Brian Snitker. It was great to see Walter.
Got an extra day at home too.
Yep.
The off day here in Denver.
Get him to reach for that. 1-2. So last year Walt watched his boys play, and he's back in uniform this year in another city that he excelled in as a player. Two. You
can tell just right early on it's been a struggle for Herman. Just can't find it. And as you said, Drew, it's hard when you not only you have opening day, you also have an hour delay before the game's supposed to start, so your routine is thrown off, plus it's cold. So finding that grip on the baseball is also probably the most challenging thing.
Herman doesn't like sleeves, though. He's got the short sleeves on. This is popped up to shallow center. Charlie coming, and he can't get there. See if the Rockies can get an out. Nope. That was one of those big swings, and it was a hard read. And in that cavernous outfield, it drops for a single, and now the bases are loaded.
Suzuki got lucky. It's unlucky for Herman. It's just right there where nobody can reach it. Charlie has the best angle on it. He lays out for it. Comes within 6 inches of making the play. Gerardo's wisely is backing up, gets the ball back in.
So now the second meeting at the mound with Steve Foster coming out. We had a game 2 days ago in San Diego where neither team had a mound visit. No catchers went, no shortstops went in, pitching coach, nothing.
Game time was also 2 hours and 41 minutes. A lot of strikes, a lot of action too if the ball was put in play.
Always try to minimize damage. A run in on the home run, and then 2 walks and a pop fly that drops for a single. And Preston Tucker, who last year was not in the big leagues at all, he was in the Astros organization excelling at AAA. He has spent 4 years at the AAA level, and he made the Braves out of camp, and he's hitting .429 with a couple home runs and 8 driven in the early going.
He's 4 for 8 with runners in scoring position. Part of that big group that's been .450 as a team. Talk about tough, though. Look at Preston not wearing any batting gloves. I don't know if it's tough or
unwise.
Yes, I was going to go there next.
Center field. Charlie's going to make the catch. It'll get a run home. Freddie Freeman tags, and the Braves have their second run.
It's now 9 RBIs for Preston Tucker. He had 96 in AAA last year, but 9 early in the season.
Now the 7th place hitter is Dansby Swanson, former #1 pick of the Arizona Diamondbacks. He came to Atlanta in the Shelby Miller deal, along with Ender Inciarte.
If there's one trade Arizona like a do-over, hit the reset button, I think it might be that one.
And this is lined toward the gap in right center field. This is going to be a problem. It's going to kiss off the wall, and it is going to drive home 2 runs. Swanson to third with a triple, and now the Braves have put up a 4 spot in the top of the first.
Both walks come back to score. The little bloop single by Suzuki to allow him to get on base. He comes around to score. Swanson picked it up. Last year he started off bad. They got sent to AAA and then came back and was better the second go round.
He started to pick it up when the Rockies faced him. And now the Rockies will walk Flaherty, and Brandon McCarthy will come up with 2 outs as the Braves send 9 to the plate here in the first inning. Yeah, had you gotten Swanson, you go, okay, a rough first inning, but it's 2-0.
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to get our turn now. And the Rockies still will have plenty of turns. It's 4 runs at this point, so it's been an ugly start, unfortunately, for Herman, who last year, other than his first 2 starts at home, was terrific at Coors Field.
Yeah, he was 0-2 with 11.70 ERA. He gave up 13 earned runs in 10 innings pitched, and a lot of that came against the Washington Nationals. But then the last 11, he was 6-1, he'd only given up 28 earned runs.
2 fastballs, 2 strikes on McCarthy. That'll end the inning, but plenty of damage done by Atlanta. Ozzie Albies a home run, and then a couple of walks, a single, and ultimately a 2-run triple by Swanson. Charlie Blackmon getting ready, and here is the Southwest batting order on this home opener 2018.
Charlie Blackmon, center field.
DJ LeMahieu, second base.
Nolan Arenado, third base.
Carlos Gonzalez, right field.
Ian Desmond, first base.
Gerardo Parra, left field.
Trevor Story, shortstop.
Chris Iannetta, catcher.
Germán Marquez, pitcher.
Buddy Black, manager.
So there's the starting 9 for the Rockies. Charlie had a great start to the season. He's hitting .345, 4 home runs on the road trip, after hitting 37 last year. And Brandon McCarthy, who's been around quite a while now, the 34-year-old, 6'8", originally a 17th round pick of the White Sox out of Lamar Community College down south in Colorado.
Yeah, and he got the W against Philadelphia. You see the numbers there, 97 pitches, and really hasn't changed in his career. He's done this his whole career with the fastball, the cut fastball, the curveball, and changeup. He tries to get the ball down. He's more of a sinker ball pitcher. He doesn't like to get the ball elevated. Only 5 home runs allowed last year for Brandon.
His issue has been staying healthy.
Yeah.
Last year, those 5 home runs allowed in 92 2/3 innings. You know, he's a guy that's got a pretty good name in baseball, because when he's been healthy, he has been very effective at times. But Brandon has won double-digit games in only one season in his career, which probably would surprise you if you
I think
didn't
part
know
of it,
that.
yeah, part of it though, as you mentioned, he's got over 11 years of service time in the major leagues, but half of that's come on the DL. That's been his issue.
Yep. He has never pitched well here. He has a 7.94 ERA at Coors Field. And he falls behind 3-1. Normally, he's been an outstanding strike thrower, though we have seen on a couple of occasions where he flat lost it.
Last year in Dodger Stadium.
Yeah.
Remember that? He had 3 or 4 wild pitches.
And I mean wild to the backstop. And he just walked Charlie leading off.
Well, For the Win is brought to you by Pizza Ranch. And there's no home for the brave. Even though Brandon McCarthy grew up in Colorado Springs and then went to Lamar, as you said, Drew, the numbers at Coors Field, the 794, 17 innings pitched. He's given up 23 hits. And, oh, by the way, also 4 home runs here against Brandon.
So here's LeMahieu. DJ, a huge hit in the 9th inning yesterday. He takes ball 1. The Rockies had gotten the first run of the game on a bases-loaded walk to Ryan McMahon. And then against Brad Hand, DJ made sure the Rockies would have a little breathing room, lining a single to right to drive in 2 more. In fact, the Rockies had only 4 hits yesterday. Charlie had 2, DJ had 2.
Well, last year, when they had 4 hits or less out on the road, they went 0-7. It's a little different feel yesterday. And they needed those 2 extra runs after the home run was given up by Wade Davis. He ended up winning 3-1. But this is a little bit of breathing room.
Yeah, makes it a little more comfortable. Good swing from LeMahieu, fouled straight back. DJ lifetime has had great success against McCarthy, 7 for 15 at the plate.
He's hitting 5 of the 7 games early here in this young season.
And that's strike 3.
Well, he buried that one down at the bottom of the Subaru strike zone. Just locked DJ up. Well, Nolan went 0 for yesterday. You and I got here to the ballpark about 10 o'clock this morning. I happened to walk by the batting cage. You know who was in there? This guy.
You want to know why? Because he brought his sleeping bag, got off the plane last night and went straight to the yard. Probably taking flips at 11 last night. Outside on Nolan, 1-0. That's a strike. Did you ever in your career wear one of the ski masks?
Yes, yes. I did it a couple times. I remember opening up in Cleveland. The mistake by the lake.
Was it uncomfortable or throw you off at all?
Yeah, it was very cold. Oh, you were talking about that? No, I know.
This is a bouncing ball to third. Flaherty to Albies, and that's it. Charlie got into Albies, as he should. So that will allow Cargo to hit here with 2 outs.
No, it's not uncomfortable. You need it to just keep it off your ears and keep that wind from going down your neck.
Cargo 5 for 17 lifetime against McCarthy. Get into the batter's box. And Atlanta, like virtually every team, shifts on Cargo. Fouled off, 2 strikes. Center fielder Inciarte is one of the best in the game. Moved from a right center shade over toward a left center shade with 2 strikes. Cargo held up 1-2.
They also put Swanson on the other side of the bag because Flaherty has some middle infield experience. So they don't feel like, well, we got to leave the shortstop there, move the third baseman over to the right side of the bag.
Yeah, Flaherty's very versatile. 2-2. For all those people that are looking out there and saying, boy, it's in the mid-20s, how do they keep their hands warm to, swing a baseball bat? They're able to, on the bench, make sure that the hands are pretty warm.
Oh yeah, they get a couple of heaters down in the dugout.
And moving up's Nolan because McCarthy wasn't looking at him at all. So now it's 3-2, and if Cargo throws out a base hit, you can kind of steal a run.
He took off even before McCarthy went to the plate. And there's the heater. So the guys will huddle around that. And that helps get your gloves warm, but it also helps warm up the pine tar. Because the pine tar can become very brittle and cold too. And then the bat starts to slip out of your hands.
3-2. Cargo with a base hit, and the Rockies will get a run. In fact, that's going to run to the wall. And Cargo to second with a double. He's hunting 3. He's got to get there. And he is safe. A triple for Gonzalez. And it's 4-1.
That swing never gets old. It is so much fun to watch. And then when this ball got into the corner, or excuse me, into the gap, Cargo was hunting third. Subaru Supremo, 2-seamer. Cargo, gorgeous swing. Leg up, foot back down into the ground. That transfer coming through. And he's running hard out of the box. If he's not running hard, he's not going to be safe at third. And this is all on him. He took a peek.
Ian Desmond at the plate. Desi, a great start to the season. A couple home runs, 7 driven in. McCarthy will unload a wild pitch here and there. And a shot, but right at Albies. So important, though, that the Rockies at least got a marker there after the 4-run uprising by the Braves in the top of the first. is brought to you by the 2018 Toyota Tundra and your hometown Toyota stores. And by Southwest Airlines. Low fares, no hidden fees. That's transparency. Home opener delayed by a little more than an hour. But we're underway. We go to the second inning, and the Braves got 4 in the first against German Marquez, who gave up a home run to Ozzie Albies after retiring this man, Ender Inciarte, and then he walked 2, gave up a pop single. That was unfortunate. It would have been 2 outs. Kurt Suzuki had a towering pop to shallow center field, but nobody could get there. Inciarte's behind 0-2. I want to go back to something we were talking about, Huey, a few minutes ago, and that was the trade Shelby Miller from the Braves to Arizona. In return, their #1 pick, Dansby Swanson, and Ender Inciarte. Nice job by Paul. Good route to the baseball. And you made the remark that Arizona probably like a do-over on the trade. And I agree with you, but not so much. I think at the time, everybody's like, you gave away Dansby Swanson, your top 5 pick in the draft. It's more because of that guy, Ender Inciarte, who has more hits than anybody in baseball the last 2 years, not named Jose Altuve or Charlie Blackmon.
Yeah, he has 307 hits since 2016.
And he's as good a center fielder as there is in the game.
Yeah. No, you're right. It was just, okay, he was an extra guy there.
Albies hits this one hard, but it's right at Carter.
This has been nice for German after that first inning. His ball club tacked on a run, but they also gave him a chance to sit back for a minute. If that would have been a quick, say, 7, 8, 9 pitch inning, then he's right back on the hill. But instead, he got a chance to kind of hit the reset button and start this ball game over.
Freddie Freeman takes a strike. Freddie walked his first time up.
He's just looking right now. He's just pumping in strikes.
And that looked pretty good. That curveball just off the plate on the Subaru strike zone. 1 ball, 1 strike. Freeman's early on base percentage is well over 600 because of all the walks. Freddie, in fact, the 10 walks, that had not been done before in the first 6 games for a Brave. He's
Long history too.
He's going to walk a lot. Because remember yesterday, Andy Green, he did it 2 days in a row. He walked Nolan Arenado to face Ian Desmond. That's no picnic. But with all due respect to, Nick Markakis or Kurt Suzuki, there's no one of that stature, shall we say, behind Freddie in the lineup.
Even last year, missing the time with the broken wrist. Left wrist, he still hit 307, 28 home runs, 71 RBIs.
If there's such thing as an MVP of the first couple of months of the season, he may have been it. And this is fisted to Trevor. This is a good inning. Good bounce back inning for German. A 1-2-3 frame. Rockies back on offense. That took him only 9 pitches. 4-1 Braves.
was a cold morning, and so Bud Black wanted to introduce the new media to the brand new interview room here at Coors Field.
Welcome. This is Econ 101. I have a syllabus for everyone. Is this weird? Isn't it? Spielborg's here. Niedermeyer.
You gotta love Bud Black, always finding some sort of humor in an interesting situation. Most of us were feeling a little awkward in class today with Bud Black, but we love it. And new digs here.
And Spilly, literally you were there. Figuratively, just like back in your UCSB days, you were not.
No, that's not true. I had to go to enough classes to get enough units to walk for the graduation. I just have one Spanish class. Can somebody help me pass Spanish at UCSB so I can finally get my degree, please?
Yeah, the guy at the plate, Gerardo Parra, he'll help you. And Parra rolls this one over to Freeman, who will go to the bag himself. You know what else is brand spanking new? The scoreboard in left center field, which takes up left and left center and eases toward center field. This was the unveiling.
That was spectacular. Because I walked in and I'd seen the scoreboard before, back in February before we left for spring training. And then I looked up there today. I was like, that kind of looks like it used to. And then they did the disappearing act.
Yeah, it's amazing. And I can't wait till everybody gets to see it in person. There's a strike on Trevor Story, 1 out. Rockies down 4-1, 1 gone in the second inning. There's it's 258% bigger than the old scoreboard. It is 94 feet across by, I had my cheat notes here, I think by 119 feet in height. It's really, it's amazing.
784 60-inch TVs.
Here's something else. The new control room, which is down the hall from our broadcast position. They have 19 people in that room who all have something to do with the operation. There they are, of that board. It's Reed Saunders in the middle,
right
Kent
middle.
on the left. That's Kent's room.
Yeah, that was state of the art.
And those guys have been getting tutored all winter on how to operate that thing. You know, I tried to bring my clicker from home, you know, and change the channel, do something. No, it wasn't working.
That's because you only have 3 or 4 60-inch TVs in your home.
Yeah, it's special. Fouled off. And also, some of the fascia boards you'll notice when you come to Coors Field are larger. They've been extended. Like I know the one on the first base line and the one on the third base line they've been extended all the way down, and they've made several in the outfield bigger. I was just remarking to Doug during the commercial break. I said, you know, we're spoiled. We come here every day. And I said, this place really, truly is magnificent. Doug nodded. He goes, you know, we forget the bias. This place is just, it's remarkable when you consider this. Turner Field no longer hosts the Braves. That was built a year after Coors Field was open.
We say it all the time. Coors Field, 3rd oldest ballpark in the National League.
2-2. And this is in the air to Enciarte and center. Two outs, nobody on for Chris Iannetta.
But this park looks like it opened up yesterday or today.
Hey, a reminder to join in on the conversation. Send us your thoughts, your comments. You can send photos also. Use Twitter or Instagram and include the hashtag Toyota Talk. Today's Friday, and we'll visit with Buddy Black in the middle innings from the Rockies dugout. Chris, a big series against Arizona. D-backs could hardly get Chris out.
3 hits opening day.
strike. The 26th home opener for the Rockies. They're 15-10. Previous 25. You know, that 4-run first for the Braves, it just, you know, sets the stage for another memorable opening day for Rockies heroics.
We showed 4 or 5 when we came on the air. You know, EY leading it off first and foremost at Mile High. Clint Barmas, Dante, Kyle Freeland, Chuck Nasty going 6 for 6 against these Braves.
And that's lined down the left field line to the corner. It'll be a double for Ionetta.
Chris is hitting so well early right now, is not missing many pitches. Gets a Subaru Supermo curveball inside that hangs belt high. He rips it down into the corner. Now you get the chance for Herman to drive in a run, and nothing else. It clears him for next inning.
He had an infield hit in his start in Arizona. He was 1 for 2. And McCarthy's going to get this. So Ionetta left at second base. 2 innings completed Coors Field. The Braves 4, the Rockies 1. It's the home opener 2018.
To go home and watch the draft. Third pick for the Colorado Rockies was me, and you know, I looked at my dad like, did they say my name? Like, I thought I heard my name. He says, no, you heard your name. I'm going to Colorado, so and then we sold out, I think, all the way till the end of August '97, every single game. So we're playing in front of 45 to 70,000 people every night for 5 years. It was unbelievable.
Special time for Darren Holmes, who still with the club, doing an outstanding job. His title is bullpen coach, but he's really co-pitching coach, and Steve Foster would be the first to tell you that.
These guys work hand in hand like nobody's business, and nobody is afraid to give the other guy credit. You know, it's not all about, well, I did this with this person or this pitcher. It's, we're in this together. I don't care who gets the credit for it. Let's just get it right.
Yeah, that's what you love to see, the unselfishness. Just one common goal. Top of the third inning, Markakis, Suzuki, Preston Tucker to face German Marquez. Gave up 4 in the first, and then he got the Braves in order in the second. Baltimore Oriole, Nick Markakis, And a ground ball to Nolan. 1 out.
Nolan before the game, as we talked about, won his 5th consecutive Gold Glove to make it platinum now. So he's out there holding a couple different ones.
I gotta ask him. I've never asked him what he's done with all those. Who was it? Was it Charlie? Charlie may have told me so many awards he has like in a closet. Yeah, well, that'd be Charlie,
that
right?
would be. You might have him in his Jeep.
Yeah. Ball 1 on Suzuki. Here's the interior of the new control room. And you know what's cool also is that they took the wall that would go to the it's part of the concourse area on level 2 at Coors Field, and now they made it all glass so people can walk by and they call it the aquarium. So people stop and they yeah, I thought that was a really neat feature. Good idea. 2 and 1.
Well, you've seen that at other ballparks where they have the area by batting cages that are glass, so the guys can, you know, when they're taking batting practice or warming up, whatever it is, the people can walk by and watch.
Yeah, I like that also. Give the fans as great an experience as possible, and certainly get that here. 3 balls and 1 strike on Suzuki. 1 out. Suzuki hit that pop fly to shallow center that dropped to load the bases in the first. Tucker on deck. Herman will sit in the mid-90s. He struck out Paul Goldschmidt in the first inning with a little traffic in his first game of the year with a 99-mile-an-hour fastball. It's yanked foul.
That's impressive for a pitcher to be able to do that. He'll pitch 95 to 96, but he can go get the 98, 99. And Bartolo Colon was that type of pitcher early in his career. He could do that, just kind of toy with you, and then when he wanted to finish you off, he'd say, here it is, try to hit it.
Jammed him, and he pops it up again to shallow center. Charlie's going to get there this time.
Not
2
this
outs.
time. Well, fans, trust your gut, pick the right player, and get 1 step closer to winning $5.6 million. Download Beat the Streak today.
Tucker lined a sac fly to Blackman in the first to produce the 2nd run for the Braves. No swing. Preston Tucker's out of the University of Florida in Gainesville. It's a later pick. It's made good. 16th round out of Florida.
You need some of those guys. We saw somebody, I forget who it was, just recently. It was like a 38th round pick.
Let me change that. It's actually in 2011 he didn't sign out of Florida. He was drafted by the Rockies in the 16th round. And that is not caught. Parra back-to-back games laying out straight ahead, and both times trapping the baseball. Yesterday when he trapped the baseball, he threw out a runner trying to go first to third. It was Hunter Renfroe. That one was a tougher to call. This one, it's similar, but it definitely was down. Good call by the umpire. So it's a base hit for Tucker.
And he also has that mask, that ski mask coming up over his nose. Herman thought he made the catch, and you could understand why he was jumping up and down. Well, you mentioned about Preston Tucker being drafted in the 16th round by the Rockies. Well, Swanson was drafted in the 38th round by the Rockies in 2012.
That was out of high school.
Yeah.
And Swanson up the middle. No, Story didn't do it, did he?
Well,
yeah, the throw a little bit offline. He almost stole a hit from Swanson. So now 2 on with 2 outs for Flaherty.
Just to get to the baseball was impressive enough. Didn't have the option, I don't think, of going to second base. I mean, DJ's there, but where he was, that would have been a really tricky throw to second. So instead, he does a spin throw on the Subaru Supermo. And the hard part when you do that, coming out of your throw, when you've got a fast runner, is to get rid of the ball. But you also, it's really hard to find the first baseman after coming out of those throws. That's why I always marvel during the Winter Olympics for the skaters that do all those spins and then they can stop on a dime. I had trouble just spinning one time on a baseball diamond without getting dizzy.
Should have spent your winters on ice. Look how much better you would have made that play. Flaherty with a 1-0, bounced foul. Good play by Desmond to get there. We were asked by our colleagues on the Braves side, Chip Carey and Joe Simpson, how Desmond's doing at first base, and by all indications, Desi's doing, you know, listen, he spent so much time playing shortstop and he's so athletic. He's doing fine.
Now I don't even think about him being over there. That's how fine it's been. That you don't wonder, you wait to see what's going to happen. No, it's just, he's just part of the infield.
Put a little daylight play on.
A little better throw would have been, had a chance to get Tucker. And for a pitcher, they're taught just throw the ball over the bag. It doesn't have to be perfect right at the bag, because it's kind of hard for the infielder when he's moving directionally side to side to try to reach down and make that tag. Just throw it right at his knees.
Did you have a way of communicating with your catcher when you wanted to back pick at second?
Yeah, it's a sign. Maybe you'd rub the glove down your left leg if you wanted to try to back pick.
3-1. He will not give in here, Marquez, because of where the Braves are in the lineup. You have McCarthy on deck, who he struck out with the bases loaded to end, actually first and third, to end that first inning. Not that you want to load the bases, but you don't want to give Flaherty a cookie. He's been hot in the early going also. And there is ball 4.
Fourth walk today for Herman. 3 regular, 1 intentional. That was semi-intentional after he fell behind 3-1.
So here's McCarthy. He struck out on 3 pitches. And there's a fastball for a strike.
I saw the tweet a moment ago talking about Herman and no sleeves. You said it back when he jogged out here. A lot of pitchers don't like to throw with sleeves. You know, so it just feels constricting on the elbow.
There's certain, you know, the starting pitcher picks a uniform typically, and there are certain guys that have always picked the vest when they're throwing. I want to say Bettis is that way. I thought De La Rosa liked the vest also, because then there's nothing encumbering the shoulder and arm.
Aaron Cook. Yeah, they just don't like it. I remember a game in Cleveland. They were just telling you about that cold game in Cleveland. Kevin Brown was pitching. He gave up 3 or 4 in the first innings because he had sleeves on. He came in, grabbed the scissors, cut the sleeves off that next half inning, and went out there and said, "No, I'm not doing that again."
It's 2-2. That sounds like Kevin Brown.
Yeah, Kevin was a right-hander or a left-hander trapped in a right-hander's body. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That was an intense guy.
Yes, it was.
The days he pitched. 2-2. And there's the strikeout. So Marquez works out of it. A couple singles and a walk. Middle of 3. The Braves up 4-1. Go to AT&T Sportsnet. RM on Twitter to cast your vote. We'll share the results later on. What is your favorite opening day moment? There's a lot to choose from. EY's legendary home run off Kurt Bottenfeld. You had Dante christening Coors Field in the 14th against the Mets. Clint Barmas against the Hall of Famer Trevor Hoffman. And Kyle Freeland, 7 shutout in his major league debut. 20 minutes from where he went to high school at Thomas Jefferson High. How many clubs in 25 years would have that many unforgettable opening day moments? There's EY.
I don't know, that's a lot. And just kind of life-changing, game changers for certain players too. Which one would you go with? I know which one I have.
Let me think about that. I don't want to give a flippant answer. A 1 on Charlie. And a high fly ball to right, and he missed this by a smidgen. I'll give you an answer after we check in with Spilly. 1 out.
Well,
Spilly.
I talked to Eric Young today and asked him about that home run 25 years ago, basically April 9th, and asked him what his reaction, what his emotion is thinking about that same home run.
That was my first opening day.
Yeah.
So, no, it's always a moment that was cherished by so many people. And over the course of my career and even the coaching, it's something that when opening day comes around, especially here, it's that much more special. And for me to be a part of it this year is so significant. I can't put it into words.
EY was starting to get emotional thinking about it because he kept saying how for years and years that he comes back here, people always tell about how important that moment was to them and to their fandom and to the Rockies fan base. Thinking about it, 80,000 fans at Mile High. 80,000 fans, you guys. Here's that home run off Kent Bottenfield. Just incredible. You get goosebumps just looking at it.
And that for me, and that's why I would pick that as #1.
Yeah, I've been thinking about it, and I would agree. The other 3 were super special, but that was the first. It was Colorado and our city and our region welcoming Major League Baseball for many finally. The Denver Bears and the Zephyrs had so many meaningful seasons. Good play by Flaherty. DJ's retired. 2 outs, but that welcomed everybody to Major League Baseball.
Yeah.
And for that reason, I think that has to be #1.
And because of it now, we have a generation of kids that have grown up just Rockies fans.
Always kid EY said you never bought a drink or dinner in this town since. And you know what? It propelled him to a heck of a career.
Yeah, it did. I played with him in Chicago. Great teammate. Great teammate.
Well, it's a great family because we know what kind of kid EY Jr. is. Two strikes on Nolan. That first year, the Rockies drew what is still a Major League record not to be broken. It can't be broken because Mile High, seated comfortably, 75, 76,000. There was 80,000, as I mentioned that first day. This ball is in the air to left field. And a sliding catch is made out there by Preston Tucker, but the Rockies drew just under 4.5 million in '93. Love, it's what makes a Subaru a Subaru. And by UC Health, live extraordinary. We go to the fourth inning. The Rockies trailing 4-1. It's the home opener 2018. Drew Goodman, Jeff Hewson, Ryan Spilborgs.
Billy wore his long johns today down there, sitting outside.
Billy's a sharp guy. I'm sure he's
I got tights
well
on.
prepared.
Yeah, there's tights on for sure.
Ender Inciarte for the third time. Comebacker and a fly ball to left field. Strike one on Inciarte, who trains with Carlos Gonzalez, several other big leaguers in the Orlando area in the offseason.
Thomas Harding wrote a nice piece about that on MLB.com. It's up now, about that relationship these guys have.
Martin Prado, another big leaguer who works out with those guys. Ball and 2 strikes on Inciarte. We've seen the solid fastball. We haven't seen the blistering fastball so far this afternoon. Parra again. He consistently gets good jumps, doesn't he?
Well, he does, and it doesn't matter whether he's playing right field or left field, even center field. Just has a knack for that. Some outfielders have that instinct, that good jump every single time. It's not every 2 times or every 3 times. Gerardo gets that every time. But to get back to your point about Germán, no, he doesn't have that crisp live fastball we're used to seeing. It's been here and there. The curveball's been here and there.
Drops one in on Ozzie Albies. Home run to right, and then a line drive to right that was caught by Cargo. 1-1. They're excited about this young man who originally was a shortstop. They moved him to second. He's become a terrific second baseman. They moved him because of the trade to get Dansby Swanson. And I'm not so sure he's not a better shortstop than Swanson is.
Maybe at some point they decide to flip-flop the 2 of them. Albies from Curacao.
This is popped up. Story was on the right side, and he'll move over to the left side and make the catch. Good play by Trevor.
Even though he was on the other side, he still had the best angle for it, because Nolan, when that ball went up, he is looking for Trevor to make sure he could get over there and make the play. See the guys checking the big board out now. And with this new dynamite scoreboard and the replays and the crystal clear, they all are taking a peek now.
A lot of information up there. Like Freddie Freeman's up right now and shows you where he went to elementary school, who his kindergarten teacher was, what he hit in Legion ball. This is a good inning. Marquez again able to get the top of the order in order. So we'll go to the bottom of the 4th. The Rockies trailing 4-1. Colorado Taco Bell locations the next day. Do it between 4 and 6 to receive your Rockies Taco Special. Live Moss at Taco Bell. Carlos Gonzalez will lead it off. He's batting cleanup. He had a triple to drive in the only Rockies run. That came with 2 outs in the first inning. Lined a ball to the right center field gap. Rockies would have had a second run. Ian Desmond smoked the ball, but it was right at Albies, the second baseman. Cargo takes ball 1. All the runs in this game in the first frame. Rockies have been out hit so far 5-2. Working against Brandon McCarthy.
It's time for that to change.
A triple for Cargo, by the way. He's first since May of 2016.
Told you he's running better this year.
Looks great. Off speed in there. 2-1. Here's the shift for Cargo. Rockies have won 16 of the last 21 against the Braves. Do you remember that when the Braves rolled into town last year, they had lost 11 straight at Coors Field against the Rockies, and they played a 4-game set. They ended up splitting the 4-game set, and obviously in the process ending that 11-game slide here. 3-2. And typically, during that dominating period for the Rockies, the Braves just couldn't score here.
It was a boat race every time for the Rockies.
Braves average less than 3 runs a game. This ball high and deep right field. Get up and get it! Off the facade of the second deck, make it 4-2. First of the year for Cinco.
That was I'm laughing because it was hit so hard in this cold weather. There was nothing that anybody could do out in the stands to try to catch it because it went off the facade and then ricocheted so hard back. People were afraid to reach up and try to grab it. And Cargo knew it too. He's done this a number of times. That classic swing and then the back drop. Told you last year, Brandon McCarthy gave up only 5 home runs in 92 and 2/3 inning.
Hard ground ball, grabbed by Freeman. 1 out. That was a rocket.
Subaru Super Bowl, the coil of the upper body, and then the spring release for Cargo.
He just has to be so excited to see a right-hander. Seemed like virtually every at-bat he had on that road trip, there was a lefty out there. One out. Here's Gerardo. And Parra hits this ball left. Tucker will retreat but make the catch. Dougie just pointed something out because that's what Dougie does. Points things out. And on occasion, it's actually meaningful and
noteworthy,
purposeful information. And guess what? Cargo's gotten the 2 toughest legs of the cycle out of the way, the home run and the triple. Cargo, of course, has a triple, a famous triple.
Let's see some of the numbers for this home run. Not surprised on the exit velocity and the distance projected at 445.
It's 4-3 now. Take a good look. You won't see this one for long. Trevor Story. Here come the Rockies.
No doubter for Trevor, no doubter for Cargo. His first of the year, 3rd RBI. Remember, the Rockies hit 10 home runs on that road trip. Well, they got 2 today. Backed up slider on the Subaru Supermo. Trevor did not miss this one.
And this one went an estimated 442 feet after Cargo's 445.
Got a little buzz back in the crowd, too. This will get you buzzing.
All right, so I'm guessing on the StatCast when we show that, I'm going to say a launch angle of 27 degrees.
Okay, it might go a little bit higher than that because Cargo's was at 20.
What do we got?
Here, what do we have?
I'm going to say 111 off the bat.
Oh, 108.
And 28 degrees. It goes back to
physics?
Yeah, my days of physics. Looking for a tutor. 2-2 on Chris Iannetta. So Cargo got his first this inning. Trevor got his first. How about Chris Iannetta? He had 18 big flies last year. Chris doubled to the left field corner in the second.
Well, he doubled too with a 2-2 count, right where he's at against McCarthy now. There's a slider he hit for the double down the left field line.
The Rockies with the 12 home runs, tied for the National League lead with the Cardinals and the Nationals. Home runs are fun, Huey.
They're a lot of fun.
A lot of fun. Bouncer to Swanson. That'll end the inning, but the Rockies are now within a run on the solo home runs from Cargo and Trevor Story. When we come back, we'll visit with the Rockies manager, Buddy Black, coming up in 60 seconds.
It's a great room.
Yeah, and home run 101 last inning. That was fun to see.
Yeah, wasn't that great? 2 really good swings. Cargo, I don't know if it showed on TV, but down here, man, that was a bullet. That was a bolt.
Well, and for Herman, giving up the 4 in the first, kind of settled down. Still doesn't quite have the command of his fastball or his curveball, but he's fighting his way through it.
Yeah, yes, he's working through it. Ideally, he gets through this inning, and then we might have to hit for him. But You know, a couple good pitches when he needed to. You know, he got the top of the order the last couple times through, so that was a good sign. So let's get him to this one, get in our bullpen, see what we can do.
Hey, buddy, really quick, flashback to your career. It's the same for both sides. Obviously, McCarthy's dealing with it. How tough is it to get a grip at altitude and as cold as it is?
Yeah, a little bit. I remember back in, I think it was 1983, I pitched Mile High against the Denver Bears. I was with the Omaha Royals, and I remember it was pretty tough, pretty tough.
All right, buddy, good luck the rest of the way.
All right, guys, thanks.
So Nick Markakis will lead it off in the top of the 5th inning. And our reference to Buddy as the econ professor is, I hope you saw the footage that we showed you at his pregame media gathering. The new interview room is really large and looks like a classroom. There are tables in there. Media folks can you know, do some work. And there's some Buddy pretended he was welcoming everybody the first day of Econ 101.
I will say this, I was sweating a little bit because I was in the 2nd row and I never sat in the 2nd row. So I was like, whoa, wait a second. A little flashback.
Good pitch, 1 and 2. See, I'm not buying that. I'm thinking you're a studious guy. You were always a good student. I'm thinking you were in the first couple of rows. You weren't? You were in the back?
I was in the back.
Trying to get phone numbers? This is in the air to Charlie in center.
Oh, he turned it and ran to a spot. That was classic outfield play. You hear instructors say, run to a spot. That's what Charlie did. Again, he's looking up at the big board to take a peek at it.
One out, and that'll bring up Kurt Suzuki. I was always in the front row.
Yeah, I'm sure you were.
Single and a fly ball to center field for Suzuki. He takes a strike. Well, you heard Buddy a moment ago saying with Herman due to lead off in the bottom of the 5th, this is probably going to be all for him. If he can throw up another 0, all things considered, you know, job well done.
Well, yeah, he could have folded in the towel in the after the 1st inning. I mean,
you and I have watched countless games here.
Yeah.
And how many times have we seen the opposition, you know, put up an ugly number in the 1st, and you always say, listen, you can still have, you have to have the mentality, you can still have a pretty good start if you throw up some 0s after that.
Plenty of times. I think that the one guy back a number of years ago that always pops into my mind is Pedro Estacio. He's the guy that you think of when that really started kind of that trend, and I think Buddy brought a little bit of that back last year when he came over. So this is our ballpark. This is your home yard. It's just the same for the other guy. I know you're going to get more starts here. I understand that, but sometimes at the end of the day, all that matters was, did you give your club a chance to win? Were you there at the end and grinding through it on the days that you don't have your best stuff?
Right. And you're probably not going to win an ERA title pitching half your games here, but you can win a lot of ball games. And there's a lot of guys who prove it. Jorge De La Rosa, Aaron Cook. There's so many guys that, and even this current staff, as young as it is, John Gray loves pitching here. Marquez, after 2 rough starts last year, with the club won virtually every time he pitched at Coors Field. Kyle Freeland.
Tyler Anderson's numbers are better in Coors Field than they are on the road.
Much better, yeah. 3-0 on Preston Tucker. Buddy making sure. He's now 3-2. He's going to get somebody up just in case. And it's not going to be Darren Holmes, but he's going to watch whoever he's getting up, and it's Mike Dunn. Dunner's a tough guy, man. Originally from Farmington, New Mexico. You don't want any sleeves. There's a walk.
All fans coming to the game tomorrow night will receive a 2018 Rockies Magnet schedule, courtesy of Colorado Lottery.
This is for Ryan Flaherty.
Yeah.
Rockies are going to slow down the game right now. Dansby Swanson's at the plate. They're 2 outs. What Buddy doesn't want to do is have the Braves somehow flip the lineup here in the 5th inning.
Well, because he already said he's going to pinch hit for him to lead off the bottom of the 5th. Yeah, you would like for him to get through this one. Pinch hit, score a couple runs, so he's on the plus side.
Swanson has hit the ball hard twice, a triple and a hard ground ball up the middle that Trevor made a great play on to get his glove on it, and then he spun and threw to first a little bit offline. Curveball for a strike.
Top of the Subaru strike zone, but that get me over curveball first pitch. Only a few guys will swing at that. Some guys will sit on it, but a lot of guys don't like to.
Whatever you have left in the tank, let it roll right here.
Yeah, I think he knows this is it for him too. So just focus on this 90th pitch.
Dual purpose. 0-2. Pulled down the line. That's fair. Preston Tucker is going to get a green light. Let's see if the relay can get up. Nope. It's a run scoring double by Swanson. He'll go to third on the throw. It's 5-3. So Dansby Swanson really hurting the Rockies. Triple, single, double. 3 runs batted in.
Pulls the ball inside the bag past Nolan. Tucker can run a little bit better than what I thought. Just out of the reach on the Subaru Supermo for Nolan. And then the relay off the mark, allowing Preston to score and go up 5-3.
Buddy's going to play it maybe a little differently now. Maybe Mike wasn't ready, or he's decided to pass on Flaherty and again go at Brandon McCarthy.
I think it's the latter, because the damage has already been done. So you don't need to worry about getting a pitcher up right now. Now, if somehow he gets on, then he comes in for Inciarte.
Runner going. The Rockies are going to keep their focus solely on taking care of McCarthy. So Flaherty's at second. This is a base hit. It's going to drive in 2. Wow. Brandon McCarthy, who had 5 RBIs in his career before that swing, just tacked on 2 more. And all the good feeling from last half inning eroded with 2 outs. A walk, a double, an intentional walk, and then a double by Brandon McCarthy, of all people.
Well, that was just a ball that was not executed, not located at all for Herman to the pitcher.
Seven 3 Atlanta. Marquez wanted today. 4 2/3, 7 runs on the board. Mike Dunn will try to get that who's become elusive final out here in the 5th. Ender Enciarte up for the 4th time already. He's 0 for 3. The bottom of the lineup has done all the damage. Dansby Swanson with 3 RBIs. Brandon McCarthy with his first extra base hit of his career. See Mike Dunn's numbers.
All this with 2 outs, and for Herman too, 6 walks today. 2 of them were intentional, but it was not what he was hoping on the home opener. Obviously, just didn't have command of anything today.
It's only 2 strikeouts for McCarthy. His career high in walks prior to today was 4. The last 2 starts for the Rockies were beautiful. John Gray 7 shutout. Tyler Anderson 6 shutout yesterday. Parrin left. Rockies left to get back to the bat rack. They're down by 4 runs again, 7 to 3, middle of 5. Choice for fun. Well, you have to be in a hearty spirit today. Temperature at game time 26 degrees. We were delayed 1 hour and 1 minute. The Braves got 4 in the first, and unfortunately, after the Rockies closed to 4 to 3, they just got 3 with 2 outs in the 5th inning. Ryan McMahon will pinch hit for Mike Dunn against Brandon McCarthy, and then it'll be Blackman and LeMahieu. I think the Braves have continued from what they did on their homestand at SunTrust against the Phillies and Nationals. Every time there's a runner in scoring position, they get a hit. They were hitting .450 coming in.
And the next closest team is the Los Angeles Angels. They hit .309.
Yeah, it's a big drop off. .309 is great. And the average has gone up today because Brian Snitker's club is 3 for 6 so far. 2 strikes on McMahon. He had a big bases loaded walk yesterday in the 9th inning to give the Rockies their first run. Right behind that, DJ would produce 2 runs with another hit. Chris Russin throwing. One out. Charlie a walk and a towering fly ball to deep right. When I tell you, he just missed hitting the ball into the second or third deck. I mean, he just missed it probably by a quarter of an inch.
Yeah, if they had a definition in the Webster's dictionary for it, that would have been it.
And that's fair also, unfortunately. 2 outs. McCarthy starting to get some ground balls. LeMahieu a strikeout and a ground ball to third.
This is 8th ground ball out today. That's helped Brandon today. Even after that last ball to DJ, he's 15 for 20 at first pitch strikes. The guy that came in at ERA, almost 8 at Coors Field.
Inside, 3-0 on DJ. And there's a strike. So Charlie, DJ, and Nolan, 1, 2, 3 in the Rockies batting order. Since 2015 are 1, 2, and 3 in the National League in hits. A 1, 2, 3 inning for the Rockies, though. Offensively, we'll go to the 6th. It is 7-3. Atlanta in front.
On a happy home opener, I found a fan that's been here for a long time. His name's Chris. Chris, how many opening days is this for you?
This is my 25th in a row, or 26th, you know, however many, every single one.
You actually saw Eric Young's opening day home run, the very first one.
I was 8 years old, sitting in the 5th level of Mile High. One of the best moments of my life.
Are you cold at all? How much stuff did you wear today, knowing that it was going to be sub 30?
I think I have like 3 layers on everywhere, so I'm feeling good. The snow stopped, so it's not bad out here.
You told me it's a family affair. You guys have had season tickets. Your uncle has season tickets in this section. What do you guys think of the new Jumbotron?
It's huge. It's big and bright. I feel like I'm watching TV at home on my big screen TV. It's great.
I just put one of these in my backyard. What do you think of the new netting that's right here for some of the fans?
I mean, safety first. You know, you got to protect people, especially younger kids. Family game, so you got to protect everyone. Be safe.
What's your favorite part about the home opener?
All the people. I love that baseball starts in spring when everything is starting new again and it's fresh and it's just so exciting after the long off season. It's just so much fun to be back here with my team, with my friends, with my family. It's just amazing. There's no other day like it.
Another base hit by Ozzie Albies. Last question for you, Chris. He's going to take second. You were in Arizona for the playing game last year. What was that game for you like?
It was so much fun. And granted, when we went down early, it was a little scary, and the Diamondbacks fans were giving us a hard time. But when we came back, it was one of the most exciting times I've ever had at a sporting event, ever.
High expectations for this Rockies this year?
Hey, as long as we push for the playoffs, that's all anyone can hope for, right?
Thanks, Chris. We appreciate it. Guys, back to you.
All right, Spilly, that was a single that was turned into a double by the hustle and the speed of Ozzie Albies against Chris Russ and Freddie Freeman. 0 for 2 and a walk.
Yeah, Albies is the youngest player in the major leagues. He's 21 years, 89 days young.
Ball and a strike. The final line on German Marquez. 4 2/3, 7 runs, 7 hits. He walked 6. 2 of the walks, as we discussed, were intentional. 2 strikeouts, 94 pitches. 1-1 on Freeman.
For German, 2 walks or 2 strikeouts, excuse me, is also a telltale sign. Because even on a bad day for him or a so-so day, it's still 4 or 5 strikeouts. Gets a lot with the curveball.
Last year he had a 3-to-1 strikeout to walk ratio. Struck out 147, walked 49.
Those in 29 starts, 32 starts in his career prior to today.
Came up late in 2016. It's like on a recording loop in your head if you're involved in baseball, love baseball, watch baseball, like that fan Chris that Spilly was just talking to. You know that one of the absolutes in the game is if you get quality starting pitching, you're going to win more than you lose. And it's going to be tough on the days where you don't get quality starting pitching. First 2 games of the year in Arizona. Rough starts for John Gray, Tyler Anderson, losses. Today, there's a lot of baseball left to be played. The Rockies then got last 2 days quality starts, real good starts, obviously, from Anderson and Gray. They had victories. German in his first outing, 5 innings of 1 unearned run baseball, and that is somehow going to drop for a base hit, and that'll score another run. Braves can't miss right now.
No, they can't. Another RBI with a runner in scoring position for Freddie Freeman.
He's 7 for 8 in that situation this year.
Yeah, he's hitting 857. That's 10 RBIs for Freddie. That leads baseball. Just to further illustrate that point, Drew, first 6 ball games. Okay, and the 3 wins for the Rockies scored 4.67 runs on average. They had a 1.67 ERA. The 3 losses, same runs per game, 4.67. Their ERA was 9.38.
And in this game, their ERA right now is above that, 8 runs in 5+ innings. Marquez at the plate. It's one of those days, you've seen it many times in the past, the Rockies are going to have to find a way to outscore Atlanta.
That's it's doable against Atlanta. It's not like their bullpen is stacked or they know exactly, kind of who they're going to go to late in the ball game for Brian Snitker. I think you do know Vizcaíno is going to close the game if they get to that in the ninth. But besides that, nothing's set in stone.
No.
Good block.
1-2. Either Freddie's elbow hurts or he's trying to keep warm.
A combination of both. Still shaking that right arm. Manfred, when he hit it off the end of the bat for that base hit to right, it put a little number on his fingers.
Nick Markakis, because he's been so durable, has produced more than 2,000 hits. And not just durability, he's been a really good hitter in his career, but again, it's one of those guys that I don't know many people who'd realize that he's produced that many knots. And only one play, Russ in on the flip from Desmond. People were asking earlier, how's Desmond doing at first base? Right there, that's a good decision by Ian, because if he fires to short, I don't know if he's going to get him as high as that ball was chopped.
That was the decision maker, the height of that ball off the plate. The old Baltimore chop off the plate. Thinks, well, if I try to spin around and it goes wild or we don't get it, it's first and second. Instead, a soft underhand. Oh, good lead of Chris Russ. And so he has time to catch it and then take 2 steps to make the play. Desi just 1 error in 32 games at first base with the Rockies.
Kurt Suzuki 1 for 3. Came up with the Oakland A's in 2007. Second-round pick out of Cal State Fullerton. I remember if they won a national championship when Kurt was there.
Get dug on that one. The Titans of Cal State Fullerton.
It's around the time that Oregon State won back-to-back national championships.
Because of that, Oregon had to reinstitute baseball. Phil Knight did not like that.
And one of their first recruits was Tyler Anderson. Pretty good recruit.
Yeah. And Phil Knight was like, no, that's not happening. Oregon State win back-to-back.
Yeah, he said, what do you need? We'll build a stadium. How many unis you want? 30?
How
30
much
baseball
cash?
uniforms. Suzuki on the ground at third. Will hold the runner. 2 outs. And with 2 outs, that'll bring up Preston Tucker.
Don't forget David Peterson went to Oregon.
Yeah, out of Regis.
Out of Regis and was a first-round pick.
And I heard from our good friend John Burke, who former first-round pick of the Rockies, who's at the ball game today. His son Clayton, in a little more than a year, will be going to Oregon as a pitcher. He's at Mountain Vista now. So Suzuki's, so Doug, was I right? Suzuki's draft year was June of 2004, and they were just coming off celebrating a national championship with the Titans.
So he was actually drafted then during the time that the College World Series is going on.
Yeah, pretty good month for old Kurt, huh?
Yeah.
Tucker, a sac fly, a single, and a walk, and he scored. That walk came with 2 outs last inning, and Swanson doubled him home. And then the biggest blow in this game was a Brandon McCarthy 2-run double.
Especially when it's his first extra base hit of his career.
And the Rockies again had closed to within 4-3. Marquez looked like he was on a little bit of a roll. Got 2 quick outs in the 5th, and then it came undone for him. 2-2. Tucker's played in all 7 games for the Braves, and he's hitting all 7 games. Atlanta leading. We're in the 6th inning. Nolan will lead off next frame for Colorado. And Russell's got it. That'll end the inning. A double by Albies, a leg double, and then Freddie Freeman poked the single to right to bring him home. 8-3 Braves. The festivities for opening day were delayed about an hour. The Rockies fell behind quickly 4-0, but Cargo with a triple and then a home run made it 4-2. Story, a home run, made it 4-3. But Brandon McCarthy, of all people, unloaded a 2-run double. Atlanta, the hottest team offensively in baseball coming in, has stayed hot. Here's Nolan against McCarthy. Here to begin the 6th inning. Nolan's 0 for 2. Reached on a fielder's choice in the 1st and would eventually score on that triple by Cargo. Nolan also had a stolen base when they kind of forgot about him. in the first inning. Shift is on 3 on the left side for Nolan.
I was just thinking, have we seen that yet this year?
I don't know about this year. We've seen it a little bit in the past.
Last year, I think it's the first this year. Albies on the shortstop side. And that's what constitutes a shift. Just for a refresher course.
And a base hit to right. That'll bring up Cargo. Line triple to right center. And a missile off the facade of the second deck in right for a solo homer. Run for Cargo was his 216th of his career. There have been 341 players all time that make the claim they've hit 200 home runs at the big league level.
It's a pretty select company when you really break it down. 19,000 plus have played the game.
Well, think about this. If you hit 20 in a season, pretty good.
Yeah.
You know, there's obviously guys now who blow that away, but 20 home runs has always been looked upon as, you know, a guy who's got some pop, right? You got to do that 10 times to hit 200 homers. Pretty quick math.
That was good. I see how you did that.
Yeah. Nobody out, 1 and 2 on Cargo. Cargo top 5 in most offensive categories for the Rockies.
Just climbed over the 700 run mark.
Fourth on the all-time hit list. Went over, scored his 700th run in San Diego. Desmond's hit the ball hard twice, nothing to show for it yet. Line drive to second and a hard ground ball at Freddie Freeman. 9 hits for the Braves to produce their 8 runs. Rockies with just 5 hits. They had only 4 in San Diego yesterday in their 3-1 victory.
His first 2 times up for Ian was trying to go to right field and right center with the line out and then the ground out. They're still playing him, at least in the infield, on the left side straight up. Albies is closer because of the double play depth, but there's still some room there to hit it between first and second if he gets the right pitch. The first 2 pitches, though, have been inside to Ian. Moreland is up for the Braves. Their bullpen.
Ball and 2 strikes on Desmond. McCarthy with another strikeout. It's just his third of the game, but he's got Cargo and Desmond in succession. That'll bring up Parra.
The warning track party room offers a field level view of the game. Prices start at $100 per person, include a food and beverage package. Call 303 Rockies for more information. Pitches for Brandon in the bottom of the 6th, and for 4 2/3, Vermont had 93 for comparison.
Outside. Ball and 2 strikes.
Showing a good curveball today, McCarthy has.
Always a scramble, Huey, for players when you come back from spring training, but you've started on the road because unless you've been in that city for a long time and already have housing, you're trying to set that up from afar.
And no off day.
And no off day. Rockies got in fairly late last night. 8-3. Rockies down. By Southwest Airlines, low fares, no hidden fees. That's transparency. Rockies on the wrong end right now as we go to the 7th inning. 8-3 is the score. Drew Goodman, Jeff Hewson, and Ryan Spilborghs. Chris Russ in 2nd inning of work. They got a run off Chris in the 6th. Dansby Swanson, who has a triple, a single, and a double, is at the plate.
Quartet, the 6, 7, 8, 9 for Atlanta today. They're 5 for 8, 4 walks, 3 runs, couple doubles, a stolen base, and 5 RBIs. Actually 3 runs for them.
Dansby Swanson with a 2-0 count. Cargo in right on the track will make the catch. And that'll bring up Ryan Flaherty. Ryan Flaherty was with Philadelphia during spring training. He was enjoying a great spring training. He was hitting close to 400 in a Phil's uniform, and they didn't have a spot for him, so they designated him late in March, and Atlanta gobbled him up and immediately made him their starting third baseman. And he good pickup by Desi and a good flip. And you see his athletic ability there. They immediately gobbled him up, and he tormented the Phils in that series against Philadelphia to begin the year.
It's just saying this is what you missed when you didn't have me. We've been bragging a little bit today on Desi and playing first base. That is not an easy underhand flip from the distance with which he had to make it. He threw the stocking cap over the top of his regular baseball cap.
A guy who can fly is the pinch hitter Peter Borges for Brandon McCarthy here in the 7th inning. Borges also another guy that signed very late in spring training. He needs it on the ground to second. And it's a 1-2-3 7th inning for Chris Russin. We will stretch at Coors Field. Our 26th home opener, 24th here at 20th at Blake. And we're going to stick around for a rendition of God Bless America. Atlanta's in front right now, 8-3.
scheduled April 20th through the 22nd. Purchase your tickets online at Rockies.com. Well, after Brandon McCarthy goes through 6 innings, giving up 3 runs on just 5 hits, time for a new pitcher for Atlanta. That'd be Peter Moylan. Second consecutive opening day roster he made. Since scoreless the last 4 times out. Twice against Philly, twice against Washington. The Rockies saw a couple sidearmers down in San Diego. Will they get another one here today?
Trevor Story, 52 home runs in his first 250 big league games, tied with Willeen Rosario, fastest to that mark, and 9 more than Todd Helton even hit his first 250 games with the Rockies. He had a home run earlier today, his first of the year. Cargo in that 4th inning opened it up with a home run, his initial home run of 2018. 1-1 for Peter Moylan.
Strikeouts, 4 walks for Peter, and those came early.
The 39-year-old from Australia misses there. Two on Trevor Story. Iannetta behind him, then we'll get a pinch hitter.
They're tough. Live in Colorado.
Pitch fouled off.
Just because it's a little cold and damp today, tomorrow, you know, the sun will be back out.
Yeah, it's supposed to be much better tomorrow, right? Yeah. 24 degrees right now. Wow. Moylan strikes out Story. 1 out. That's 4 straight strikeouts for the Rockies. Cargo, Desmond, and Parra all went down to finish the 6th inning against Brandon McCarthy. Those were 3 of his 4 strikeouts. Iannetta double in the 2nd and a ground ball to short in the 4th inning. Crowd of 48,216, a sellout. We've been a little bit above 50 with standing room only when the weather's good the last couple of years. That guy with goggles on.
Can't remember the last time we had even just a little bit of weather for opening day.
The coldest previous home opener was in 2004 when it was 37 degrees. Last year was the warmest at 74 degrees, so we've lost 50 degrees so far. I don't like it.
Tell me in 2014 it was 48 degrees. I don't remember that. I just remember sun on opening day.
48, I'd put an umbrella in my drink right now. Two and two. Here it is, 24 degrees.
Be a little bit of a wind chill, too.
Three and two. The wind chill at the start of the game was 21 degrees. When we were waiting during the delay, at one point it was just 16 degrees. And obviously the temperatures dropped since the start of the ball game. 3 and 2 on Ionetta. Two outs. Mike Tachman coming up.
What did Philly say?
You don't even notice how cold it is out here. 24 degrees, it feels like it's 70.
Really, I give you permission to go get warm.
Are you sure?
No,
yeah.
No.
Yes.
No.
You sure?
You gotta gut it out. You gotta gut
Hey,
it
I got
out.
an extra pair of gloves.
Are my lips blue? I'm looking for a tauntaun. Have you ever seen Star Wars? You'd have to know
What?
Star Wars.
No, I don't get it. What, do you want, a poncho? Is that what you were talking about yesterday?
Yeah, a most underrated garment ever. Nice.
That's a nice
Spilly,
Rockies blanket you have, though.
Did you see Sam Hernandez's Rockies bathrobe?
I have. Paula Woodman made that for him, and she felt bad that he didn't get one because we got these beautiful blankets. So she made that awesome onesie.
Sam is our.
There
Sam.
he is earlier.
There he is. Sam, you can't hide right now behind your camera because that is on tape. Sorry, dude. We got you. If you see that man riding a motorcycle home late this afternoon, give him a lot of space. 3-0 on Tachman. And big thanks to Paula.
Yeah.
Because I know I'm using that blanket right now. Dougie is.
I left mine at home.
You brought yours home?
Yeah.
I keep mine in the booth for days like this. Tachman yanks it into the seats foul. So strange, Huey, that it's Friday. And the Rockies did play last Friday, but they were off on Sunday. And I'm looking at the out-of-town scoreboard, the auxiliary scoreboard, hand-operated, and there's only 3 other games in the National League today. There's 5 games in the American League. Not everybody's playing on a Friday.
On a Friday. Go figure. The Giants have already been postponed tonight.
The Giants in San Francisco were postponed by rain. They were opening up a 3-game set against the Dodgers.
And they even moved back tomorrow's game. It was originally at 1 o'clock. They moved it to 3 o'clock. Because they think the weather will be better then.
So they're not trying to play 2 tomorrow? Or they are?
I think 2 on... No, it's sometime in April. Later on in April, they're going to play 2.
So Peter Moylan, after walking Tachman, will be replaced. We'll tell you about the pitching change when we come back. 8-3, Atlanta leading. 6-for-6 day. That'll give you a little padding for the rest of April.
He's done a lot of things in his career. Did you notice the beard there too? Much shorter.
Much trimmer, right?
Yeah, that's when he started it all. Jose Ramirez, the new pitcher for Atlanta. And he is a hard thrower. Average 97.1 miles an hour on his fastball. Slider at 89, changeup about 88. He will walk some guys.
Well, their whole pen is walk guys. Their whole pen, you know, you look at the raw numbers, they've been very good through the opening week of the season. A very low ERA. The batting average against is outstanding. The one issue's been they have walked almost a hitter an inning. 1-1 on Charlie, 2 outs. Tachman at first. Rockies need a significant rally. And this is in the direction of Peter Borges in left field. That'll end the frame. We'll go on to the 8th inning. McCarthy, 6 very solid innings, allowed 3 runs, 2 of them solo home runs to Cargo and Story. A rough outing for German Marquez. He gave up 4 in the first, and then with 2 outs in the 5th, he gave up 3 more. So it's a 7-run outing in 4 2/3 for Marquez. As we go to the 8th, top of the order for Atlanta, Ender Inciarte, Ozzie Albies, and Freddie Freeman. The Rockies on to their 4th pitcher of the day. It'll be Scott Oberg.
For Scott, 3rd appearance, throwing an inning and a 3rd. So far, one of those was in Arizona, the other in San Diego. Scott might be asked to go a couple innings today. You would hate to burn through your bullpen, you know, on a day where you had to go get your starter early, but you also are playing in a string of 17 in a row.
Yep.
But he did a little bit of it. He did it, I think, once at least in spring training. If not 2 innings, it was an inning and a 3rd inning, 2/3.
You always want to be protective. That pitch miss is also 2-0. You want to be protective of your plus side guys, your leverage guys.
Right.
You know, you want to stay away from.
Well, Jake threw yesterday. We know Wade Davis, Brian Shaw. Otto threw 2 innings yesterday.
Right, so he's down today. And those are the guys that you want to save for days where you're trying to protect a run or 2 lead.
And you'd also try to want to protect Senzatella in case something goes sideways tomorrow and you need a long guy.
is kind of golfed into right field. A base hit for Enciarte, his first hit of the game. It's also the 10th hit today for Atlanta.
I saw the numbers coming into this game, and then you wonder, well, how truthful are they? Are they, you know, are they really that good? Well, today they've shown that some of those numbers are not outliers.
Well, they're hot right now.
They are.
Because if you check back in a little bit.
No, I agree.
Freddie Freeman's an elite hitter. Enciarte's a good hitter. I really like Ozzie Albies. You know, he's a young player. He's 21. With all due respect to everybody else in that lineup right now, as I said, check back in a while. They're hot.
They are, but that was what I was referencing, is how hot they are just because you're 6 or 7 games into the season.
Yeah.
They got their hot streak coming out of the gate.
But it'll be up to the Rockies to quiet the bats the rest of today and the next couple of days. Pretty close.
We'll get Chad tomorrow and then Kyle on Sunday.
Close.
Real close on the Subaru Supermo. Just got the fingernails back in. The right hand. Yep.
And it's a tag play, so that's why Enciarte stopped and run down just like you do it in March here in early April. It turns into a double play. 3-6-3.
When you
but a little different 3-6-3.
Yeah, when you come off the bag as a first baseman, you're expecting the ball more to your right, not to your glove side. And he touches the bag over the top of Enciarte. Then Trevor got him going the right way. Little toss, tag him out, double play.
We saw Desmond with his spikes in the ground, kind of on the balls of his feet, ready to kind of close to.
Yeah, and that's what you want to do. You want to just be in an athletic position. So when you get that ball, you catch and then you tag.
Freeman a walk, a couple of ground outs, then an RBI single. Time flies. Remember when Freddie Freeman was coming up with Hayward?
Yeah.
It's been 7 years.
Really?
Those guys were best friends. They were living together. Remember one, one day one guy was in Gwinnett and the other guy was going to the big league ballpark, and then it was
the other way around.
And they got up in the morning and make sure they put the right uniform on. And obviously Hayward has moved on since. Freeman's become a big star in Atlanta.
Hayward a couple different teams since he left Atlanta.
So he hit a home run yesterday for the Cubs.
Yeah, they're in Milwaukee.
3-1 and another walk. Freeman's getting like 2 of those a game.
Another game he's been on base to multiple times.
It's the 7th walk issued by the Rockies today. Nick Markakis, he walked in the first and scored. Nothing for 3 otherwise. Base hit through the left side.
You want to gear up for the 25th anniversary season at your local Rockies dugout store, the place for all things Rockies.
Kurt Suzuki, a single in the first and a run scored, 1 for 4.
Shane Carl in the Braves bullpen.
Former Rocky. This may come in our booth. Then again, it may not.
We get 1 or 2 every couple years come up here.
Not frequently.
No?
Ball and a strike on Suzuki. 2 on, 2 outs. That's in there. Shane Victorino and Kurt Suzuki are cousins. Did you know that?
I did not know that.
The flying Hawaiian, Shane Victorino. He was fun to watch.
Yeah,
Good players. On the ground to third, and Nolan will run to the bag for the force out. We'll go to the bottom of the 8th inning. Atlanta is up 8-3. Rockies baseball on AT&T Sportsnet is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Low fares, no hidden fees. That's transparency. And by Wells Fargo. Wells Fargo customers get your 2-for-1 Rockies club level tickets by visiting wellsfargo.com/Rockies. So we go to the bottom of the 8th inning on a frigid day for the home opener. The Rockies fell behind 4-0 in the first, and they got to within 4-3 after a Trevor Story home run. That was back in the 4th inning, and things were looking bright for the Rockies. But with 2 outs in the 5th, Germán Marquez gave up 3 more runs. And the Rockies have been looking uphill since. DJ, Nolan Arenado Cargo here in the 8th against Jose Ramirez.
Got to kind of give Raz a congratulations. Mark Raz and the excellent grounds crew here at Coors Field for the job that he and his crew did on this field getting it ready for the ball game. I know there wasn't a whole lot of precipitation, but they did have to plow some snow off. They took the tarp off 2 or 3 times to take some water off it. We got a challenge here, but they always come through.
They had some machines being used, handheld machines. I don't know if they were heaters. I don't know what they were, but they were working throughout the morning and the delay. They are challenged more than any grounds crew in baseball because of the variances in weather here. And this field is always pristine. Two balls and a strike on LeMahieu, 0 for 3. Called strike. DJ has had a hit in every one of his home openers in a Rockies uniform. Seems like there aren't many days that go by that he doesn't have at least one hit.
That's why these first 3 guys in the lineup, as you said, are 1, 2, and 3 in hits in the last 2 or 3 years.
To underscore that point, DJ he's one of the top averages in baseball over the last 2 years. And this is in the air to right. Nolan a single to right his last time up. Well, this since 2015, there's no second baseman in baseball in the National League that has more hits than DJ. Only Jose Altuve over in the American League.
I was gonna say, Jose would be the only guy, but he also leads all the baseballs.
Blackman second on that list. One on Nolan on the outside corner. Freeman's going to give this a look, and he can't reach it. Spilly would have had a play.
Yeah, he was the closest player.
But he's under his blanket right now, because I can see from there he is.
I thought I had a shot at it.
Yeah, except you didn't see it.
No, I saw it.
Oh, you did?
I saw it. It was just.
Did you catch it in the blanket?
That would have been awesome. Oh, I got another shot at it.
No, you got no shot at that. Hey, Spilly, on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being
10 being the coldest?
Antarctica, yeah. What are you, an 11?
Yeah, I've expected some emperor penguins to walk by.
The emperor penguins.
Yeah.
Not just a run-of-the-mill penguin.
Yeah, no, those are the ones that live in Antarctica, Drew. I would say
I have to watch National Geographic
yeah, you really do.
when I get home.
24 degrees is frosty. I don't have the luxury of the heat warmer or a lot of people being next to me like fans do. This is close to a 9.
It's 9. And there's another base hit shot into right field for Arenado. This from Ionetta earlier, live look at Coors Field. It's a frozen castle. Spilly, why don't you explain for everybody, for the uninitiated like us in the booth,
No, I know Frozen. Just
Yeah, that's Elsa's castle.
Okay.
Yeah. My granddaughter watches Frozen.
Let it go.
Just let it go.
Let it
Spinelli.
go.
Just let it go.
Cargo at the plate with 1 out and 1 on. Triple and a home run today for Gonzalez. Rocky's looking for some late inning magic.
Create another opening day memory.
Cargo thought that was off the plate. 2 and 1. And looked like all 3 were off the plate on the Subaru strike zone. Two outs. Desmond's one of those guys, you see this a fair amount. He'll lay his bat down very quickly, starting on the outside corner before he puts his feet in the box, just to make sure that where he sets up, I'm guessing, he has plate coverage.
Yeah, well, positioning, so you're in the same spot every single time. You know, at the big league level, you don't have to worry about it as much because they're pretty sophisticated in the batter's boxes, but down in the minor leagues, you know, sometimes the lines might not be even straight. So you just go work off the plate. It makes it easy for you.
Did you stand in the same spot every time, or did you move a little bit?
I moved a little bit, just depending on maybe how hard the guy threw. If it was a soft, obviously with the knuckleball pitcher, I faced a few of those. You'd move up. But most of the time, I tried to stay as deep as I could in the box.
See the ball for an extra 6, 8, 10, 12 inches, right?
You know, some people say, well, move up if it's a curveball pitcher so you get it before it breaks. Well, I'd hope to hit the fastball so I didn't get to that pitch. Yeah, so he's in the same location every time.
And for a guy who throws hard like Ramirez, he's not in the very back of the box.
No.
He could go back another, look like 6 inches or so.
Yeah, some guys are just comfortable where they're comfortable. Usually, and you can see on the left-handed side, the box is just a little bit deeper.
Flaherty, and that's a good pick at first by Freeman. That'll end the inning on the ground out by Desmond. To the 9th we go. 8-3 Atlanta.
It's an opening day, Bud Black's presser and into the clubhouse. I have some topicals for them that I can assume Braves offense came out on fire. German Marquez was thawed out. And the Rockies offense today was frozen, much like my face. So, Jenny, Corey, hopefully they are nice and warm and have some hot takes for the post-game show. I'm looking forward to it.
Spilly?
Yeah?
You're classic. Lane Adams.
I'm just impressed that he stayed down there the whole time. He didn't leave.
I'm impressed.
And that he was also covering his teammates and Corey and Jenny.
On the ground off the bat of Lane Adams to Nolan. He zips it across, 1 out. So Adams pinch hits in the pitcher spot. Dansby Swanson up next. Two-run triple, a single, and an RBI double for Swanson. Then he flew out to the track and right. He's had a good day at the plate. Former Vanderbilt star. If I remember right, I'm pretty sure because he grew up in Nashville, I'm pretty sure he rooted for the Braves as a kid.
I think he did. That's why he was so happy when he got traded over there.
Second inning of work for Scott Oberg.
The guy that hits behind him right now, Ryan Flaherty, was also a Vandy guy.
Commodore, year in and year out, putting a heck of a baseball team on the field at Vanderbilt. Get a pretty fair education also.
It's a nice facility. Down there a couple years ago, went by the
Did you?
The baseball field. Impressive.
There's generally a correlation between perennially good teams and good facilities, because it's all a big part of that recruiting process.
Well, you see it in any college sport now.
Yeah.
They all have the.
So it's an arms race. It never ends.
Is.
The minute you spend a couple $100 million on your facility and what in football or basketball, baseball, next thing you know, somebody else is one up, Jen. You're fundraising again. Or in the case of Oregon, as we mentioned earlier, calling Mr. Knight.
We need some more funds, please.
Phil is on line 1.
Or you might just call them and say, what do you need? Like you did with baseball.
Swanson to right. Cargo is there. Good jump by Carlos. And that's out number 2. A lot of notable guys. David Price out of Vanderbilt. A guy who has not found a job yet, Pedro Alvarez.
Really? He's a little more limited, though, in the teams that will try to sign him.
He's got to be with Baltimore last year. He's got to be the American League club.
That's what I'm saying. That's why it's can't do anything else right now other than hit. And with National League teams going with 4-man benches, you can't afford that.
Arizona started the year, we'll have to check, with a 5-man bench, at least in the series against the Rockies. San Diego had a 4-man bench, Atlanta 4-man bench. DJ's got it. And Oberg works a 1-2-3 ninth inning. Last lick's coming for the Rockies. They need a large inning, down 8-3. to receive alerts for the Rockies taco special when the Rockies eclipse the 7-run mark. Bottom of the 9th inning, Gerardo Parra is going to be first up for Colorado. And on the hill for Atlanta is a former Rocky, albeit briefly, Shane Carl. This will be the third ball game for Carl this year.
He made his major league debut last April at San Francisco. Scoreless 8th inning for that. Mark Gillespie was his first career strikeout. Rockies originally got Shane from the Pittsburgh Pirates in exchange for Rob Scahill.
I saw late in spring training, Rob, was it Milwaukee or Minnesota? I'm trying to remember, was sent down.
He's been with Milwaukee.
Parra is 0 for 3. Ground out, fly out, strikeout. And a strike from Carl. Strikes. The Rockies will see a righty tomorrow. Guy that has given them issues in the past, Anibal Sanchez. Sanchez 4-0 lifetime against Colorado. And that worked when he was with the Marlins. Rockies counter with Chad Bettis.
Chad got the W in the game against San Diego. 5 innings, couple runs, 5 hits. That was a game, first 3 innings, gets here and there, but then he figured it out the last couple innings.
And this is a rollover ground ball to Albies. Trevor Story is 1 for 3. The one was a long home run to left center in the 4th inning. Hit it 443 feet. That came a couple hitters after Cargo had hit one 445 feet.
That brought the Rockies back just within one. Backup slider that didn't do anything. Trevor put it 12 rows deep.
Called strike, 0-2.
I set it on a garbage can wide, let the people walk by.
And on the swing, Trevor's gone. 2 outs. He'll bring up Ionetta.
This 1 for 3 on the day, the double in the 2nd inning.
Yeah, just so tough when you fall behind by a big number early. And the Rockies gave up 4 in the top of the 1st. They got a run in the bottom of the 1st, and again, they scratched their way to within 4-3. And unfortunately, Herman got the first 2 guys out in the 5th, and then gave up 3 more.
Yeah, but even in that 5th, if you just give up the 1 run, it's 5-3. It was the double, though, from McCarthy.
That was a backbreaker.
That was. Because it's a pitcher. He drives in 2 runs. What'd you say, he gives him 7 now in his career, or 8?
That was the first extra base hit, and the guy's been around since the Truman administration. So, not known for his bat. 2-0 on a Chris. And this is going to be into the corner, and it's fair. Chris is going to have another double. So Ionetta continues to swing it well in the opening days of the 2018 season.
2 hits for Chris today. One down the left field line. This last one down the right field line. It's ball travel on the Subaru Supermo. A little inside out piece. That's nice when you're running down the line knowing it's going to stay fair. Chris hit 409 now on this young season.
That's good in every league. Pat Vallejo pinch hit. Rockies looking for their first pinch hit of the season. Rockies 0 for 12 so far in the pinch.
All their bench guys are still looking for their first hit.
McMahon, Tachman, Blake and Walters. That's the ball game. So a rough home opener in 2018 after the Rockies had won 4 of their last 5 at home. Their bat's a little frigid on this blustery day. The final score, Atlanta wins at 8-3. They improved to 5-2. The Rockies level their record at 4-4. McCarthy the win. He's now 2-0. And Marquez takes the loss. He is 0-1. It is the second coldest game in Rockies history. I need not remind Jenny Cavnar or Corey Sullivan of that fact. Jenny?
True. That you do not. Yeah. It is mighty chilly out here, but we are going to survive, and so will the Rockies this season, even though the opening day game did not belong to them.
Yeah, credit the Braves for being able to brave the elements. This is a tough game, tough adventure out there. Brandon McCarthy did a good job, but you know what? There's another game tomorrow.
That's right. We got plenty to break down coming up on the Toyota post-game show. Hope you can stick around and hope your fireplace is on, because we're pretty cold out here. We'll be right back.